About 6:30 in the morning on Wednesday the 19th. I decided to make a video because this is the second morning in a row I've come out here and watched a family of deer go by. Maybe 25 yards, 30 yards off into the woods across the street here. At least this morning all I saw was a mama deer and her fawn. Yesterday I saw what I think might have been a mama deer, the papa deer, the fawn, and maybe Junior. There were 4 of them yesterday. And they weren't big deer. They were just cool to watch. It's really cool to see things in nature. And we are intruding in their habitat. They have to continue to live. I think it's pretty cool when we can cohabitate. That being said, today is Wednesday again, 19 July. I already filled my water tank that I carry on board, freshwater tank. It's already filled, it's ready to go. I filled my gasoline tank, it's ready to go. I checked my oils, and I'm good with the oil in the generator and in the rig. I need gas in the scooter here, but I'm going to be using the scooter going back and forth to the hotel. The other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is I've been having these headaches. Wake up in the morning and sit up in bed, and I get a little stab of pain in my head. I took a couple of aspirin. Normally the way I've been doing things is take a couple of aspirin and it controls the headache for the rest of the day. I kind of feel like the headache is just under the surface all day after the aspirin kick in. And it's not a bad headache, it's just a headache, a nuisance. Bad enough for me to take a couple aspirin, and that's not something that I do lightly. As I get older, I don't know how to approach these kinds of conditions. I have had sinus issues in the past. This headache kind of feels like a sinus issue, but I'm not sure about that. It might be. My sinuses feel like they're fine. I'm breathing well. I just don't, it's located right up here above my head, and I'm thinking that that's probably a sinus issue. Anyhow, I want to make a video this morning. I got to do some editing of videos today during the course of this day. I have a movie on Movie Makers right now that's nearly ready to be made into a YouTube movie. It's on Movie Makers, and I have to complete editing it. It's not too far from being done. I don't know if I've talked about this in the past, but in order to make a movie and have it something that I can put on YouTube, it does require a little bit of work. It's not something that's that easy to do. It takes time and it's work. And say a 5-minute video can take you and say, let me put it this way, say taking 8 minutes of video and making a 5-minute movie out of that 8 minutes of video, it's probably close to, if not more, by the time I get it into YouTube readiness. it's probably more than an hour's worth of work, probably more like an hour and a half, because it takes time. Once you finish editing the movie, it takes time to turn it into something that you can use to put onto YouTube. So I'm including that in the time. And I primarily am making these videos for my own use. I don't mind, and I like the idea of my family maybe having a look at them, keeping track of what I'm doing that way, but that's not the reason that I'm doing this. I'm doing this for me more than anything, so that I have a record of my RV adventures. Supposed to get very hot from today forward. They said today is going to be up 91 or so. Tomorrow will be 96 or 97, and then Friday we're going to be in the hundreds, and 99 and 100 again on Sunday. And so going to be very hot. And when I get ready to leave here, I think I'm going to try to get out of here fairly early, so it's not too hot. And needless to say, I'll have to run my generator to use the AC on the roof. I wish I could drive with the AC in my driver's seat, but or actually I'd like to try to figure out if I could mount it in my passenger seat and drive with it in the window. But I don't really think that'll work. Maybe before I leave here, I will give it make an attempt to see whether it will fit in the passenger's window. In the driver's window, it allows me to use the passenger seat to look at the television. But if I were driving, I would rather have the window AC in the passenger window, so it would be a little bit farther away from me than the driver's seat. Let's see. I'm going to look at that before when I put the AC away for the beginning of the rest of my trip. I'll see what happens with that. Last night I had a really good campfire. It burned up all my wood, and I had my wood stacked over here. I moved the stack over here, and the reason that I had done that is because I think last night's fire is going to be the last fire I have, because one, it's going to be too hot, and two, I'm going to be too busy. Something else I wanted to do was to first of all show you that the sun is just coming up, just touching the top of the trees. It's not at all of them, but it's at the top of the taller trees here. It's coming. Sunrise is here. It's up. The other thing that I wanted to talk about here was my mirror repair. Now yesterday I had to take, I didn't have to, but I took my rig out to gas it up. I drove it, and the mirror, all painted up, all prettied up, was okay. It vibrated a little bit more than it used to, but it went down the road okay, and I think it's going to be fine. I got up to about 50 on Jefferson Avenue out there yesterday. Went over some railroad tracks and some manhole covers, and it bounced a little bit, but it held. Also painted this mirror. I believe it makes it look a little bit better. I also repaired further my goof down in Key West, where I broke my ladder. Well, I repaired it with duct tape, and that held fine, but I just didn't want to rely only on the duct tape. So I bought some hose clamps and an L bracket. And I put the hose clamps and the L bracket on the ladder, both sides of it, to reinforce the repair. I think that's going to be enough so I won't never have to do anything with it again. And then I painted, so it wouldn't get rusty, I painted them. Also did laundry yesterday and did my grocery shopping. And I decided at Sam's Club, by the way, that I wasn't going to buy a whole strip steak and then make steaks out of them myself. That was about $11.99 a pound, I think. And what I ended up buying was some steaks that they had cut. They're a little thinner than what I would make for myself out of a strip. They're a little thinner, but they may cook better if they're thinner. They may cook a little bit quicker and with less char on them. I did my laundry. I'm good with the laundry now. Don't have to do that before I leave. Wanted to just shoot a quick video of editing a movie on Windows Movie Maker. It's Monday, July 17th. Demonstrating how to use a Sawzall to make firewood with.